Hey, how's it going? Today we're going to be taking a tour of my first ever base on oldfrog.org called PeepTown. PeepTown was founded in May of 2020 by myself and a good friend Luke, and the base is still standing strong to this day. With over 30 uninvited visitors over the years, it amazes me that the place hasn't turned into a crater yet. But I'm glad to have the opportunity to go back today and cement it into the server's history. I don't want to take up too much of your time, so without further ado, thanks for watching and I hope you enjoy the tour. So I'm on my way to PeepTown. I'm on the Nether Highway, and I just remembered that my first ever outpost on the server is along the same highway, so it should be one of these tunnels coming up here. There we go. That's the one. I think. I hope this is the one. We're gonna go check it out, though. I don't think there's a whole lot here, but I honestly don't remember, so we're about to find out. Because I haven't been here since early 2020. But I remember digging this out. So, right, yep. Oh, perfect. Alright, let's check this place out. Oh yeah. That's exactly how I remember it. So these are old school auto fishers. That was pretty much all this base was. I mean, we used to have an enchanting setup and like a little pavilion and stuff over here with storage, which is obviously all gone now. Then we left here and just went straight to PeepTown, and that's where it all began. This is where it all began for me. So it's pretty cool to see. This is about exactly how I remember it from the last time I was here. Oh yeah, and then over here, if you've seen my very first video on this channel, it's a bed bomb montage. And at the end of it, I bed trapped somebody. That is still here. This is where I did it at. That's funny. So cool. Alright. It's enough time wasting. Let's get to the actual base tour. Alright. I have arrived at PeepTown. Just want to give a little bit of warning. This place has been griefed a couple of times, so it's not 100% intact, though I do know it's mostly intact. So, without further ado, let's get on with the tour. And here we are. I don't know. I don't even know where to start. I never know where to start with this tour. Let's start up here with my angel. This is one of the first things I ever built on the server. I built this so long ago that my name was still Soggy Sofa when I built this, so 10/15 of 2020. Big Tower by Luke. We'll come back to that in just a sec. Let's go check out the Coliseum. It's one of the bigger builds at the base, so if you've seen Zxny's video where him and I dueled, this is actually where we did it at. So, pretty cool build. This was built by Jax. Come over and check this out real quick. It's a pretty cool build. I really like this. This is one of my favorite builds here. It's just massive. It looks awesome, especially standing up here. Super cool build. Very, I mean, I guess it's not crazy detailed, but it looks crazy detailed because it's so big. And then right next to it, you got this massive pyramid. This was also built by Jack. And this was one of the first things that was ever built at the base, I believe. And we used to have our old gold farm in here, which is not a very good gold farm. It was super simple, shitty design. So that, we did away with that pretty quickly. And I think our plan was to fill this up with a bunch more farms, but we never got very far. You know, we did the auto smelter over there. I think this was supposed to be an iron farm. Old school iron farm. But I don't think we ever even finished this. Or maybe we did. I don't know. This is a house made by a buddy of mine. Real life buddy. Still plays the server with me sometimes. Nothing crazy. Cool little house though. Although it doesn't look like we ever did anything with it past just building the structure. It's a horse statue. And what makes this so cool is this was built by the player with the IGN, William. So William actually was a good friend of Luke's, and we ended up inviting him to the server and out to this base. And I don't think he ever used a client. I'm pretty sure he always played vanilla. But this was one of the few things that he built here, and it is by far one of my favorite builds I've ever seen on the server. It's just such a cool statue. So moving on to this stuff, we got a big drain hole here thing. I don't know what you'd call this. I want to call it a drain, but there was no draining done. So just a big old hole that used to go down to bedrock, but obviously bedrock layer has changed. So this is Luke's Old Fag Museum. This is an old museum that we made. I don't know when it was built. It's not very big, but it's a pretty cool museum. I believe it was inspired by the museum at Boomertown. Got some map arts and stuff down here. Nothing too crazy. These are old maps though. I bet, pretty sure all these maps have been here since we actually based here. That one looks all messed up. We got Fit MC, High Hitler. Some old maps. This is an old map. The Carrot Farm, you gotta have the Carrot Farm map. So yeah, a little mini museum. I love the detail. Luke has always been so good at adding detail into builds, even back in 1.12, and his block palettes are very unique. And over here you got Luke's End City. Used to have a map art right here. It looks like somebody took it. End cities in the overworld just always look so cool to me. And you come over to the end ship. I think we still, oh no, maybe we put the, I don't know, I thought we put an elytra in here. Maybe somebody replaced it with an XP bottle. I don't know. Still got gear in the chest though. We tried really hard to make this like 1-to-1 an end ship. I'm gonna drop through this little hole. This is an unfinished build that Luke was working on. I don't remember what it was supposed to be. If it was, I don't think it was supposed to be a tower because the ship is right above it. But I think it was supposed to be just like some big like gazebo type thing. I'm not too sure. But it never got finished. And I think this was a chorus farm, because we were using a lot of purpur. This is such a cool build, just the way it spirals. This was built by Luke, and I can't imagine how much of a pain in the ass this was for him to put together. But it's really cool, especially standing in the middle here, looking straight up. This is cool. I love this build. Super cool and unique tower. Let's take a look at the big brick building back here. So this is another Jack build, and I believe it's still, yeah, it's still unfinished. Let's take a look at it. It's really cool. The thing I love about this place is it uses like old block texture, or not textures, but block palettes from super old Minecraft, like 2012 days. In here, you got the ice rink, which is really the only unfinished part of this. I think he just got really burnt out on this. I remember when he was building this, he spent probably like a week straight, every day, just shitting out pieces of this build, and I think he just got tired of it eventually. I don't blame him. Collecting all that brick back in 1.12 was, whew, I can't imagine. A lot of clay to gather, and you couldn't trade for clay back then. So yeah, I can definitely see how he'd get burnt out with this. Another small little course farm down here. I never understood how these worked. And it doesn't look like it works anymore either, because it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Oh yeah, down here was Luke's little storage house, maybe? I don't know. Still got a lot of mycelium in here. A lot of mycelium, jeez. Holy shit. I think we were collecting that for Blocktoberfest, probably? Yeah, it must have been Blocktoberfest in 2020. Oh yeah, the Boomertown 2 map. That's long gone. I think Tinos might actually have the Boomertown 2 map, but I'm not sure. Oh, I just love this build. It's such a good build. Well, we're taking in the magnificence of William. Let's check out William's house. Very small, but very cozy. This has always been one of my favorite buildings here. It looks like he was back here, not... I guess that was kind of long ago. This is where I sleep when the wife's mad at me. That sign always made me laugh. And down here, I believe... Yeah, there's a parkour course down here. Let's see if we can complete that real quick. Alright, let's do this. Alright, we made it to the first checkpoint. That wasn't very far. I feel like I missed a checkpoint. That's probably a checkpoint. Whatever. Doesn't matter. We're doing it live. Oh, that one's gonna be a bitch. Alright, we made that. Made that. And that. And that. And that. And that. Oof. Alright, I'm lost. Come on. Almost there. No way! Alright, well, we're calling it there. I hit Electrify in the middle of the jump. It's a fun parkour course, though. You don't see stuff like this too often on the server. Or at least I don't. I never think to build things like this. He's got a little mine down here, too. Love it. This place is so cozy. And over here, there's a waterfront with boats and William's Paradise. Alright, now we're getting into the parts of the base that are a lot more, I don't want to say like really griefed, but a lot more trashed. Like this area could use some serious cleanup. So there's that Canadian flag. It's a better view of that. You can take a guess at who built that. It was Jack. You got my house here, which is one of the few things that's actually like blown up here, which is kind of funny, but yeah. I don't know. I didn't build a whole lot of this base. I more so spent time here and just farmed stuff and helped people with other stuff. This is where the sign wall used to be, which obviously is no longer, but I'll toss up a picture of it real quick so you can actually see what it used to look like. It used to be huge though, and it'd probably be a lot bigger if it was still here, but and this was a really cool structure built by a player named Creative, who I don't think they played the server a whole lot, but ended up getting invited to this base and they built this. And I always liked it a lot. I love the use of slabs to give it a lot of depth. It's a very interesting structure. And this tree, oh, this is new. By Byzantine Reaper. I like it, that's pretty cool. It definitely was not there before. That don't seem too right. Is that an eyeball? This is weird. And then you can see the Statue of Liberty there. We'll show that in just a second. I'm gonna show off my drain and this boat real quick. So over here is a drain that I built. This is like the first thing ever built at the base. There's not a whole lot going on in here, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. I think it looks pretty cool anyways. We got a little villager breeder down there. So fun fact, I actually drained this with sand instead of like sponges or something, because when we started this base, we didn't even have elytras or anything. I think I had like one G set and a handful of shulkers, and that was it. So I built most of this without even having an elytra. Oh, someone's been here recently. At least since we updated to 1.20. Now, I have no idea who built this boat. It just kind of popped up one day. Like, I wasn't here when the construction was started. I remember I came back to visit the place at one point, and this was just here. So I've got no idea who built it. I mean, I can go look for a sign real quick. Jesus, okay, I'm not searching through this whole thing for a sign. Because, wow, there's a lot of detail. I mean, a lot of this video is just going to be me kind of nostalgia tripping, so I'm sure you won't find 90% of the stuff as interesting as I do, but... So down here, this is where our old storage room used to be. And it got griefed at one point. I came back, I think during the first grief of this base, I came back and this whole room was blown up. So I rebuilt it. I just never added the chests back. But this is what our old storage room used to look like. I think it was just lined all the way along here with chests. So the Statue of Liberty was built by Jack, which I always found kind of ironic because he was the only Canadian in the group and we always made fun of him like crazy. So maybe this was his way of trying to get us to accept him. I don't know. It's such a cool place. I love it. I love the base of it. The base is built very well. And this one's also built out of wool. So I'm glad it's still standing, but yo, if you're gonna build something big, don't build it out of wool. I think this ladder will bring you all the way up to the top, though. Before we end the tour, there's one big thing I want to show you, but let me show off Jack's little cave. So this is Jack's storage room. I always just called it his cave, though, because this is where he would facilitate most of his map art building. Or just anything he was working on. And it was pretty much just a bunch of chests to dump shit in. And then down here he had a little map art museum, which it looks like all the maps have been viewed, so that's great. Gotta love that. There was banners in here too. Oh yeah, all the maps are gone. Alright, before we wrap up the tour, I want to show off one of the coolest parts about this base, and that's the map art ocean. So, I've never counted them, but there's gotta be well over 100 map arts in this ocean. Goes for a couple thousand blocks, so I'm not going to show the entire thing, but it's likely, if you have any collection of map arts on the server, there's a pretty high likelihood some of them are from here. So these two were the first and pretty much only map arts I've ever made on the server. I think I've made a couple or helped with a couple past these, but these are the two maps I've built on the server. And as you can see, they're very simple because I'm not a big fan of making map art. It just feels so tedious to me. It's not for me. So props to the people who can actually do that. Most of the map arts here were made by Jack, though, which makes this that much more impressive. And you can't forget about FitMC. He really wanted people to know that Jack made this because he put his name on it twice, but can't forget FitMC. It just goes on and on and on. There's a bunch of random staircase maps just littered through this area. The staircases are hard to render in from above. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. You can kind of see what's going on with it, though. The journey map's bugging, so I can't really show every single map that's here, but this is a good like 60% of them, maybe not even that many. It's a pretty good percentage of the maps that are here though. So as you can see, huge map art ocean. And that about wraps up the tour of PeepTown. So I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it. I've never made a video like this, so hopefully it wasn't too cringy, but yeah, that is pretty much everything to show for the base. Had a lot of great times here with a lot of really cool people, most of which, still play the server to this day, and I'm still friends with to this day, so yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Bye!